Your business is built one person, one customer at a time. Hey, I'm Aaron Hensley. I ran 24 martial arts schools over 6 states, 3 different time zones, 54 full-time employees, $7 million in annual revenue. And I'm going to help you build your martial arts school to be the dream, heaven on earth that you always wanted to be. All right, so your business is built one student at a time. What does that mean? I know for a fact there's so many times that I've done it myself. My employees did it. We got so excited. We worked so hard to get that lead, right, to convert into actually becoming a member. And we fought really hard to get that sell. And then after they're a student for 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, we're not in love with the idea of that student as much anymore. We fought hard to get them to become a student, but we stopped fighting as hard to keep them a student until it's renewal time or something like that. And so if I'm trying to build a martial arts empire because I really care about the impact, what we're teaching on the floor. Yes, I want great quality martial arts. Yes, I want that person to be able to perform the martial arts, whether it be in a ring or in the real world if they had to. God willing, they don't have to. But if that happens, I want them to be effective. Yes, I want all that. And I want them to enjoy the experience. And more importantly, what I've learned about martial arts is martial arts is really for self-enlightenment. You learn so much about who you are as a person because you're overcoming hard things. And so if we really care about that, then we have to fall in love with our customers, not just to get them to pay us, but to keep them there so they can actually have the time to develop to become that member. So your business is built, your empire is built one customer at a time, one student at a time. Do you run a karate school? Do you want to own a business and not a job? I'm Aaron Hensley with Rise USA. I owned over 20 martial arts schools, 6 different states, 3 different time zones, 50 plus full-time staff members. I'm going to help you learn how to scale and own a business while you still impact your community and you can love what you do. Download this free guide right now. I'm going to help you rise. And so if you have 50 students, yeah, okay. Like you can be in love with the 50 students where you're going above and beyond. You're over-promising and over-delivering with them all the time. You got 500? I'm a little bit tougher. 5,000? 50,000? Like how big could you take this? And so how do some companies do an amazing job making you feel like you're the only customer, and some people that you're just a cog in the wheel? And so are you in the world paying attention to how other businesses make you feel? How are you being treated? Listen, you could have all the great experiences in the world, and then a company can do one bad thing with you, and you're immediately like, you're ticked off to the point you don't want to spend money there anymore. There was a report that was put out and published, and Disney talks about this in some of their publications when they're talking about how to run their business like Disney. It takes 33 positive experiences to overcome one negative experience. Now let's think about that. 33 positive experiences to overcome one negative experience. That's seemingly almost impossible to beat. And so why would you ever want anyone to have a negative experience? It's going to happen. Yes, I know. There's some things that are out of your control. And sometimes it's things completely out of control. I'll tell you some of those negative experiences. One of your students goes to a karate tournament. It's not your tournament. It's an open tournament. They get their butt whooped, okay? Or they showed up late, or the tournament ran late, or something happens because most tournaments are not run to efficient level. And they're not mad at the tournament promoter. They're mad at you because, well, you're their teacher. You're their uplink in a sense, right? So some things are completely out of your control. Your business is built one customer at a time. And the only way you're going to keep them your customer is you've got to make sure that you don't just fall in love with the idea of them as a student when you're trying to collect the money and get them to convert from an idea of liking martial arts to becoming an actual student and they sign that agreement with you. You got to stay that way for the whole cycle. Because what is the lifetime value of a student? Have you had students stay with you for 3 years or 5 years or 7 years or 10 years or 20 years? Have you converted students when then all of a sudden now their whole family becomes a student? Oh, they become staff one day. They become an owner in your business one day. Like that lifetime value, can you think about that? Right? This past Christmas at my son's, one of his closest friends has been a student since he's 3 years old. He's 18 years old now, right? And I don't even own the martial arts school he's part of anymore. But think about that. They're still spending Christmas with us 15 years into the process here. Like, what is the lifetime value? And so can you build your business by not just falling in love with the idea of them becoming a student? You fight really hard for that. You spend all your time, energy, effort, and money. What are you still doing after they've joined? So what are some simple things you can do? One, make sure people know when they show up, you don't take them for granted, that the school stays clean and organized, right? You fight hard to make sure classes are energetic and fun, exciting, and educational and growth is happening. A lot of times what I've seen happen in schools is people get to their, red belt, brown belt level. They've been there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is in your process. And those students, they become like family. And like family, they feel somewhat entitled. They feel like they can speak their mind a little bit more to you. And you've allowed that to happen. And there's some good things about that, yes. Also, they sometimes feel like they're above the other students in that school because they don't see it as a business anymore. They see it as this is their home, all right? And they feel entitled because they've spent so much money there. But yes, they're a customer. And you still have to make sure that you understand that you still have to treat them as that. And the more you treat them like family, right? And you share things with them sometimes that you're oversharing things they don't need to know, because guess what? Because they want to protect that culture, sometimes they'll push people away, not because they're not trying to hurt you. They feel like they're protecting the culture. And instead of being inclusive, they want to be exclusive. They want to feel special. And at the end of the day, guess what? Those people will still leave when it's time for them to leave anyway. You don't build your business based on the customers you have today. Martial arts school owners, you guys made the mistake. You built your class schedule based on the students you have. You're like, well, there's only 3 kids coming to this class, so we're going to change this class. Instead of evaluating, well, what time school get out? Why do we only have 3 people here, right? How are we marketing this? Do we not have flexibility? Like, what is going on? You just think, well, we got 37 kids in this class. So we've got to add another class time for this class space. You build your class schedule, you build your business for your future customers, for where you're going, not where you are. Because if you build for where you are, guess what? Someone's going to pass you by. You build your mind, you build your body, you build your spirit for where you're going. You reach towards your potential. You're striving forward, and you use the present time maybe as a starting position, because maybe you're happy with things are and you want to keep adding to it. You want to build around it, but you have to know where you're going. Okay. So are you just in love with the idea of them becoming a student at the beginning and you start neglecting them? When's the last time you sent a handwritten card saying, thank you for being a customer? All right. When's the last time that you went above and beyond and just out of the blue gave them something? And it doesn't have to be it could be a token of appreciation by a gift. Did you notice that maybe they graduated high school and you sent them something, right? A gift. Maybe there was their grandparent passed away and you sent a care package. Like, are you paying attention to also the life that they have? How much do you actually know? I've been in martial arts schools where the teacher doesn't even know the parents' names of the kid. They don't know where the parents work. They don't know what they do for a living. And so like when things happen in their life, they're not even aware of what's going on because they don't know their people. That's a problem. That's a problem. You build your business one customer at a time, one student at a time. And so don't just fall in love with them becoming a student. Continue, the saying is it's cheaper to keep her type thing. Well, guess what? It is much cheaper to keep your students, and then still acquire new students. And you want success. You want to be best known product, best known martial arts school in your area. And for me, I tell my people, best known beats best product, right? I want to be both. I want to be best product of martial arts on how we teach quality martial arts and best known. I want to be both. I want to win at both. A little side note, guys, listen, people are like, well, like you teach XYZ martial arts and that would not work in the real world. You forget that it's called martial arts. Okay. In my schools, we would teach a discipline of martial arts called Krav Maga, which is an Israeli martial arts system. And it's, very specific to being real world situation, martial arts for self-defense. That's what it is. And it's beautiful for that. It's very simplistic. And as time's gone on, people have complicated Krav Maga because guess what? They got bored with the simplicity of it. So they complicated it and all these, and the whole beauty of Krav Maga is that it was so simple that you could teach somebody very quickly to be able to defend themselves. When you're teaching a 4-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 12-year-old, all martial arts doesn't have to be reality-based self-defense. Because martial arts can also be about self-enlightenment. And it really is for most people in America taking martial arts nowadays. Vast majority of people are kids. We're willing to spend more money on our kids than we're willing to spend on ourselves. And by the way, for the 27-year-old new dad at home that wants to do martial arts or was doing it, he's got to be home at a certain time for his family now. Like life shifts happen, right? Your life shifts. What's important changes. And so like we're willing to spend money on our 7-year-old more than we are on ourselves a lot of times. And so understand, like if martial arts is in America heavily dominated around a kid's market, it doesn't have to all be like, rough, tough martial arts for it to be quality martial arts. And a lot of people would say, well, kata doesn't matter. Forms don't matter anymore. Guess what? If you understand the purpose of why you teach something and you understand that's for you and that's important for you, that's okay. Just be good at it. Teach high quality. And my challenge for my martial arts teachers out there, when's the last time you took a class? When's the last time you knew what it was like to be a white belt? You put yourself out there, maybe in a business model, right? A lot of times people have to understand it's like you will attract customers based on how you spend. When I host an event and it's, $1,000 for a ticket for someone to come spend 2 days learning from some of the best martial artists and best trainers in the world, people are like, oh, I don't know if I have the couple days to close my business. I don't know if I have the money to spend. Yeah, because you hemming and hawing, thinking about like, man, do I actually need to get better? Well, guess what kind of customer you're going to attract? Oh, I don't know if I have $100 a month or $200 a month to invest in my kid, right? And to add to it, when those parents in front of you, like, here's the questions you guys get asked. What if my kid quits? What if my kid doesn't like it anymore? People are programmed to think about what ifs in the negative. It's because you're doing the same thing. Well, what if I go there and I don't learn anything? What if I go? Guess what? You don't know until you get there. And the best train the most. The best people in business, the best people in martial arts, best people in anything, they're constantly becoming a student of being better. They're getting better every single day. And so if you want to build a better business, it's one customer at a time. You have to make sure that you don't just fall in love with the idea of acquiring them at the beginning and you give up on them in the future until it's time to renew them. And you attract more customers, better customers, people who want to be part of your tribe and part of the culture you're building by how you are leading yourself, not just your business. And so are you still a student? Are you still investing in yourself? And are you investing in the red belt kid as much as you did in that kid becoming that white belt because you wanted them to become a student? Or are you losing people because you only care about getting the sale at the beginning or when it's time for renewal? Your business is built one customer at a time. And I would challenge you, if you are a single school operator and you're the only employee, or if you've got 7 schools and you've got 20 employees, wherever you're at in the scale, whatever you're doing, when's the last time you did a 1-day full out training with your volunteer and your paid for staff just on customer service, on the experience that people have when they walk in your door, the smell, the cleanliness, the greetings, if people are greeting them with a smile, with care, do we know them by their name? Simple little things like that. When's the last time that you even just role played with yourself? If you're a solopreneur in your school, you're the teacher, you're the janitor, you're everything. When's the last time you just took a day to make sure like, hey, how can I enhance the experience? Because this business is going to be built one student at a time. If you need help building your business, reach out to me, Aaron at riseusa.com. Hit us up on our website, riseusa.com. And I hope to see you at our next event. And listen, the one thing I can tell you this, you got into this business because you care how martial arts spoke to you. It changed and evolved you as a person. And you love doing that for other people. If that is how you intend to spend the rest of your life, be the best known and the best at doing it. All right, guys, time to rise.